Okay, good evening, dear friends. How are you all doing? We are now going to be doing the 22nd day of the Daily Mitzvah. And today, the Rambam continues teaching us about the mitzvah of prayer. To serve Hashem, and what does it mean to serve Hashem? What is the service of the heart? What is the connection to Hashem that happens through the heart? Through the heart is through davening. And through prayer, that is how we connect to Hashem. And it takes many chapters for the Rambam to go through the laws of the mitzvah of praying, which is why we're going to be spending a few days on this mitzvah. But the Rambam begins by giving us a little bit of an overview of the evolution of Jewish prayer. And the Rambam says something that is very interesting, that at the beginning of time, at the beginning of the mitzvah of prayer, prayer was a pretty unspecified mitzvah. There was a mitzvah to pray, but what to pray, when to pray, how to pray, there was actually none of that there. People prayed on a very personal level, and no two people's prayers looked alike. One person would pray at length with a lot of eloquence, and he would really expound on his prayers, and maybe he would pray often, and maybe there would be another Jew that his prayer would be very short and only once a day. But the point was there was a mitzvah for every single Jew to pray, and more than that, it was up to the Jew to do. And there was a certain art of prayer, and for many, many generations, this is what prayer looked like. It was deeply personal. The only liturgical part of prayer that was kind of set in stone was saying the Shema, which was our last mitzvah, our previous mitzvah. But other than that, prayer was do it however you see fit, however your heart, whatever your heart feels like. Give thanksgiving to Hashem, give praise to Hashem, ask for something from Hashem, beg Hashem, whatever it is, whatever floats your boats and whatever you are feeling in your heart. But then the Rambam says, many generations went by, and this especially happened once the first Jewish diaspora began. It was the times of the destruction of the first Holy Temple by the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar. And he took the Jews, took them out of the land of Israel, many Jews, and he started dispersing them to the lands of Persia, to Babylon, to Greece, and other lands. And the Hebrew language, the original Hebrew language, started getting lost upon that generation and the kids who were born in exile, in the diaspora. And from there, what do you have next? The art of Jewish prayer got lost. And Jews didn't understand how to pray anymore. And there's this mitzvah to pray, but what do you say? How do you say? And there was this general confusion and just lack of appreciation of what this mitzvah was all about. So there was a great man, one of the greatest men, Jewish men who have ever lived, as great as Moses. His name was Ezra the scribe. He was a Jewish leader of those times, and he understood that something has to happen here. And he was the one who led the mission of the sages of that time to create a structure for the Jewish prayer. And he instituted that prayer happens 3 times: the Shacharit, morning prayer, the Mincha, midday afternoon prayer, the Ma'ariv, the evening prayer. And he structured them to correspond to the temple services that would happen in those times. And he created the Amidah, which had 18 prayers, 18 blessings. Now it has 19 blessings. One more was added a little bit later. And he created the structure so that every single Jew can have a guidebook to help them daven. And on the one hand, they'll have that structure. And on the other hand, once they have that structure, hopefully the Jews will be able to find their own inner voice within that structure that was given to them and kind of personalize that davening to be within their own voice. And that is how the Rambam explains to us the evolution of Jewish prayer. That is today's daily mitzvah, the mitzvah to daven, and to connect to Hashem with our heart through davening. That's the goal. It's not just lip service, but it's all about the heart. And we will see you all soon for our next installment the next day for our daily mitzvah. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day ahead.